Now, in the second part of the MCO, we actually had to find a family of 4 people who are in the car, who are outside of Tunku Ampuan Amina Hospital, parked there because it's free parking there. So they lost the house, they couldn't pay rental, and they were parked in Tunku Ampuan Rahima's car park. 4 of them, husband, wife, a pregnant wife, husband, pregnant wife, and 2 children in the car for at least a good 10 days. So then when we found out that this was a situation, we contacted them and then we got them alternative housing. And we get almost on a daily basis businessmen and businesswomen calling us to say, can you help to negotiate with our landlords that we are unable to pay rent, So the point I want to make is that payment of rental is a problem not only for businesses but also poor households. It's a problem for not only for kedai-kedai, dan juga restoran-restoran di termasuk juga office yang SMEs, tetapi juga orang biasa. Whether you're in the low-cost housing, medium-cost housing, you are having a problem in paying your rental. So rental has become a problem. This is not a small problem, but this is a huge problem that could turn into a crisis. Why a crisis? Because according to the Retail Association of Malaysia, they are saying that 30%, according to their own studies, according to their own analysis and research, about 30%, which is about 300 to 400 small and medium enterprises, will possibly close in the next weeks and months. So this is quite a serious problem and a problem that has to be addressed. The government has done, in fact the government has made some effort. For example, in the case of low-cost housing, the Ministry of Housing has given 6 months waiver, waiver for all companies, for all government-owned small low-cost houses. Low-cost housing areas, the government has given the support. But I think it is not, that support is not extended to people who are in other low-cost houses, which are privately managed or not privately managed, but exist privately. Or they are what do you call it? They have their own JMBs and so on and so forth. So the problem that I would like to state here is, just like other countries, like for example in New Zealand, they have a policy that the New Zealand government imposed a freeze on residential rent increases and greater protection for tenants against having the tenancies terminated. I'm now negotiating with the house owner who wants to evict somebody who hasn't paid for 2 months. Either I raise the funds for the person, but I can't be paying for everybody. It's not possible. I don't have that kind of funds. So it is a problem. The point I want to make is it is a problem for individuals. It is a problem for businesses. Businesses include SMEs, including restaurants and so on and so forth. So there must be a solution to the problem, and different governments have given different strategies, have provided different strategies. For example, as I said, the New Zealand government says no rent increases, and then greater protection for tenants for having their tenancies terminated. And then in the case of the United States, the state of Virginia, they have given a $50 million in federal grant to help payment of rent and mortgage payments as well. And then in the case of Japan, they also have a similar, the Japanese government pays 2/3 of rent after 6 months. This is quite a big generous effort. And then the case of Singapore has offered a rental relief program involving 2 months waiver, first across the board 2 months waiver, and you can appeal for another 2 months extension if you need. So different governments are attempting to solve this crisis. I think that could possibly unleash in a matter of time. Or it's already there, but we haven't recognized the problem. So therefore, I'm proposing that the government actually set up a rental relief fund. And I've identified 4 sets of criteria in the way the fund should be organized.